All right. How is everybody doing? I am South Coast Kane Darrell Paige, and this is the Miami Duke post-game show. So let's get to the obvious. Miami pulls it out 53-31. Still, everything we've been talking about, and I know people are going to say you're being a hater, you're nitpicking 9-0, you're this, but if you watch the game, if it wasn't for the miscues of Duke, a more disciplined team could have probably had a better outcome. But I don't know. I'm just saying, look, I'm happy. Okay, this is number one. I am happy that Miami is 9-0. I'm excited. I'm so glad that they won the game. It's just that we talked about in the pregame, and we've been talking about this for the last month or so, that there's still work to be done. There is still work to be done. This is week 10, game 9. So if anybody wants to come on here, and speaking of people, Shard, Cuban Kane, my man, Jay Active, my man, what's going on? What's going on? I'm going to do what we always do. I am going to put the link in the chat. So if anybody would like to come in, and discuss, give their opinion, everybody is welcome. There's one, this ain't no chance. There's the holes. They won't be. Again, please don't misconstrue. Don't misconstrue me. Don't get it twisted. Don't misinterpret what I'm saying. It's just that there's still work to be done, and we're in week 9. The defense, when it was, what was it? 28. I mean, Miami started off 14-0. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then Duke just went right down the field, and then they ended up going up 28-17. And again, yes, Miami pulled it out. Cam had his 5 touchdowns. Cam did what Cam did. What's up, Cuban?
South Coast.
Tell me something. Give me something positive to talk about.
Positive is that damn number 29.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why 19 plays over him, but the unfortunate thing, 25 got hurt, so it seems like 19 is going to be starting now.
Yeah.
No, but the true positive is X broke the record in front of the coach that recruited him. That was pretty neat,
Exactly.
But, back to the realistic side. I don't care who you are. Well, no, I don't care who you are. To all you people, right? I don't know if I could give I cannot give the channels names here, but those channels, you guys have to stop listening to them. Okay? Great win. 9-0. Cam got, I said 4 touchdowns, he got 5.
Yes,
Great job. He's covering up a lot of shit. Just saying. We have major coaching problems.
Yes.
We have major recruiting problems.
Yes.
But one of my major problems, and I've been saying this for a long time, South Coast, this offensive line rotation. I don't understand it. I don't get it. When 78 was on the field, there was 2 times we did not score a touchdown. But every other time when he was on the field, they scored a touchdown. When 70 gets in, everybody's confused. I don't
Yeah.
understand what the hell they're doing. 73 and 61 keep giving up sacks. They keep messing up, but they don't rotate them. Number one keeps messing up on defense. They don't rotate them. I don't understand. Mario even said in the press conference, 78 is the best. He's playing the best right now, but we're rotating him in.
Oh,
It's not going
yeah.
to cost us against these weak teams, but against a real good team, it's going to get Cam hurt. I'm sorry to say it, because you need consistency on that offensive line, and just rotating them, it's not going to work out.
Right, right. And I agree. And again, yeah, congratulations to Xavier with his record-setting performance today. He got the most yards and the most receptions of any Miami receiver, and there has been some extraordinarily great ones. So that's pretty awesome for us to be able to see that. Yeah, Mr. Overdose, you're right. They, the score, scoring that 50. I'm like, damn, is Mario going to go for 60?
I wanted him to go to 60. I wanted him. I mean,
oh yeah,
he should have scored 60, right? But like I said, the thing that I was worried about is this. It was that Heisman commercial, and it's like they're going to try to go for Heisman, but if you would have ran it in, it would have been a touchdown.
Right. I see Mr. Kwame is here. I said earlier, I'm gonna say this number two. I am happy for the win. I am glad that Miami is undefeated. Oh yeah, I know you're poking the bear. But again, look, I said in the pregame, what's up, Lakers? I said in the pregame.
What's up, y'all? Y'all doing?
What up,
all right.
What's up?
My thing is, I want the whole enchilada. I don't want just half of it. Okay. I am not satisfied with 9-0. I want 12-0 plus domination. 14, 15. I want the whole thing.
I just want playoffs, undefeated playoffs. That's what I want.
Yes. I mean, that's what I look for. And again, if Miami, Larry Frank's in here. Yeah. Again, if this Miami team is going to be successful and win it all, things have got to improve. And again, from what I saw, things really haven't improved. It's the same old thing. Luckily.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something controversial. I don't care. But we got out coached this game, but we got out cammed this game. That's what happened. So for the people that keep saying that, Manny was a bad coach, hopefully it's proved to you that he wasn't. Cam is just the greatest quarterback Miami's ever had. Right. We don't have Cam, man. Mario needs to give some of that $8 million, at least 95% of it, to Cam Ward this year, because, man,
Yep. And that's just it. I really hate to see such a talent as a Cam Ward, have to deal with this defense.
Yeah,
that's all. All right, Lakers all day. You give us your thoughts, dude.
All right. So before I gotta go to work, listen. This is what it is, though. I love the offense, but I'm mad at the goddamn defense, bro. Like I told you yesterday and the day before yesterday, I was like, this defensive coordinator has to go, because if we keep this man here, he's gonna cost us the playoff games. He's gonna cost us the Orange Bowl. He's gonna cost us a bowl game. He might even cost us the championship because of him. Do y'all know? I know y'all watching the game.
Shit, an undefeated season. Forget everything else.
He's gonna cost us he's gonna him, not the offense. He is the problem, because if you know this, that look, we play, even the announcer said that we've been playing man to man the whole game. Why you got Kiko Alonso out there on the outside playing against a running back? He need to be in the middle, blitzing the quarterback. Go put a corner out there. Go play nickel. Do something. Don't have the linebacker out there playing defense. Come on, bro. And then people over here talking about, you know what I'm saying? No, people talking about, but like it's like, look, it's like even number 29, right? He out here looking like he need to start over number 19.
Got
You
bad
know?
news for you, Lakers. Number
What's up?
25 is down, and then this, which means
No,
number
no.
19 is going to play full time now.
Oh no. My bad. I'm talking about number 29. I like number 29.
No, yeah, but I'm saying 25 got hurt at the end of the game, so now it means number 19 is going to get full. He's going to start now.
Oh my, dude, that's I think he is him and the defensive coordinator and the 19 is the goddamn problem. That they're young and they need somebody that knows football because when we had Ed Reed, our secondary was playing crazy good, right? Even with our experienced safeties and free safeties, we was playing great out there in the back end and the safeties, the corners were playing great. I think we need to go call up Ed Reed, go tell him, look, we'll give you the job to be the defensive coordinator today. We'll give you money, whatever you want, we'll give you. Because we're trying to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to go, go win no goddamn bowl game. We're trying to go to the national championship.
I'm
Because we
usually on
got
the on the I'm usually on the South Coast side. Like, let's not hire previous players, right?
No.
But
No.
the Ed Reed side I could understand because he is a brain,
thank you.
right?
Thank you.
That's the only
But
guy that I would say
but
let
that's
him be
what
defense coordinator. That's
yes,
the only former player. Everybody else no.
yeah,
But Ed
everybody else
Reed,
no. But him, and
uh,
when he's the DC, you know how last year we saw our DC playing good and everything, like our defense coordinator playing great. We need that, bro, because you know what I'm saying? That will help our corners and our safeties out in the back end because guess what? Ed Reed will have these corners and safeties in the film room from morning till evening till nighttime. Even the
Yeah.
linebackers, bro. And that's what we need because this freaking defensive coordinator not doing nothing out there. He cost us the first 2 quarters.
I'll agree.
And we
And
need to cut it
yeah.
off. We need to cut it. We need to cut it now because if you don't, we're gonna lose a big game because of him.
And to Mr. Overdose, yes, Patterson does need to play and start. And Mr. Larry Frederick, yes, he is really good. Really good. All right.
What's up, Larry Frank?
What? Okay, we eating peaches. Give us your perspective.
Like I said, y'all just gonna have to deal with this Heisman campaign, man. Listen, that first 14-0 lead is how our defenses really is. Go look back at the game. I'm gonna challenge you and watch how they changed the whole defensive scheme.
I agree
Then I
with
keep
you.
hearing the
Right.
announcer talking about, oh, we dialing up man beaters. I said, shut up with this man beater. Why are we in the man beater defense then? And then all of a sudden we can clamp down and score when we want. Man, y'all stop with this play shit, man.
Well, again,
it's starting to get on my nerves a little bit. I'm just be real.
Like I said, if it wasn't for Duke's miscues there at the end,
they would have won what could have been a 4-score game. No, stop it. You can't believe that.
Yes, I do. It's just the fact of the matter is, look, I respect your opinion that it's whatever, but from what I saw, Duke made some adjustments. Okay. And luckily Duke had some miscues there at the second half.
They didn't make an adjustment, South Coast came. Did you see our offense after we went up 14-0? Where Cam threw 3 straight incompletes and went straight out, get the defense back in the field, and all of a sudden,
and I put that
beater.
Right. Man, I just put that on bad play call.
Good. Well, at least you could do that instead of blaming our players. I'll take that.
No, I'm not blaming the players. I put it all on play call. All right, Mr. Frank.
I agree with that.
What you got, Mr. Frank? Uh-oh.
Is he
Mr.
on
Frank
mute
is
or he stepped away for a second?
he maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know. But anyway, oh,
My fault. I had the mic.
that's okay.
Can you hear me?
That's okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
sir.
good.
Yes, sir.
All right. As I was saying, greetings and salutations, and happy Kwanzaa and all that good stuff a couple of months ahead. So I'm not gonna say anything about the offense. The offense did what we all expected them to do. Manny's defense did what we expected them to do. I got the receipts last night. You were right there with me, South Coast. I said they were gonna be pretty close.
Yeah.
But eventually Miami would pull away. So that happened. We knew Manny's defense. That, you know, the bottom line is you know how to keep Cam in check for a little while, but you're not going to hold Cam down forever.
Right.
Cam is going to overcome whatever you throw at him, and then that team is going to wake up, and the offense is going to hit the throttle, and they're going to go, and they did just that. So I have nothing to say about the offense. The only thing I will say, well, nothing negative. I'll just say this. I liked how they were running the ball in the beginning. I liked, you know, that Martinez had started off kind of strong. I like Fletcher getting, you know, in there with the ball. Congratulations to XR7 for breaking the record and the way he broke it. Because when he dropped the first one that could have been a touchdown, I felt bad because I'm like, oh, man, you could have really put an exclamation point on that record. But when he got that second chance and took it 66 yards to the house and did it, man, I was just so happy to see that. So nothing to say about the offense, but you know me, my gripe is the same. It's going to be the defense.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept tally. In South Coast, I was texting you through the game.
I got the record.
Yeah. And just like I said last night, it was 14 possessions. And out of the 14 possessions, 5 of those possessions, 4 of them were touchdowns, 1 was a field goal. Now, it worked today because Miami has a high-powered offense that can overcome that. But the defense has to get better. That was not, I said that you had to have a 60% stop rate in possessions that you defend. You need, and that being either a 3 and out or a turnover. And we got a fumble and 3 interceptions and 3 turnover, 3 punts that we forced, and 1 that was at the end of the half. That came out to like 58%. So they were just under the percentage that I said they needed to be at with this offense. Now, I'm going to say this. Moving forward, if you don't have a high-powered offense, the defense is going to have to up that to about 75% to be able to give them, the team, a chance to win. As long as you're letting this team or your opposition score at will, it's a problem. And the only thing that worries me moving forward, I'm not worried about the rest of the schedule. Miami will be there in Atlanta next week. Miami will take care of Georgia Tech. They'll take care of Wake. They'll take care of Syracuse. I'm not worried about that. If they make or when they make the playoffs, whoever they draw, I'm worried because if you find a team with a defense that is good enough to hold Cam down, they may not hold him down forever, but they'll hold him down long enough to where their offense can get a distinct enough advantage. Imagine if Duke, when they were up 28-17, imagine if that would have been a Georgia or one of the big dogs, and they were up 28-17, and then we finally woke up and started scoring, but the defense just couldn't stop them. That little bit of an advantage up there, that can bite you down the line. That's my concern. So something has to happen. But like I put in the chat, I do believe Brown will be coming back soon. I know there was rumblings that he's getting close. I wouldn't be surprised if Brown isn't ready to go next week, or maybe, depending on, the matchups and all of that, they may hold him out. But definitely for that Syracuse game, he'll be ready. Brown will be back because whatever's going on with Richard or whatever, it's not good. They took him on the court. I'm anticipating that's probably a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
Because when you get carted out, you're usually done. And like Cuban said, get ready because 19 is about to get in there. That's why I think it won't be long before Brown gets back. So
right.
Yeah. And credit to what Lakers all day said. Bowie Noah on coverage getting beat the way he did. Come on, man.
Man, that was a wide receiver. He was kind of running step for step with him.
No, I think that
Now
was
that's a bad
running back.
defensive play
Running back.
call. You ain't supposed to leave your linebacker out when
That
they
was,
fire wide on the goddamn on wide receiver.
No, that was a running back.
That was a running back. That was a running back.
Yeah,
I understand.
That was a running back, and he
that
got
was,
away from him.
Jones. I think it was Jones.
Yeah,
Any running back supposed to outrun the linebacker, especially if it's a scat back running back.
yeah, he does. He does. That does happen, but like that.
Especially out in space.
I mean,
like
a running back usually will have a step or two ahead of you. But I mean, come on. Did you see the space, the separation that he got?
That's because he was got there like he's a cornerback. I can see if it was like a wheel route or something. He was out there like he was spread out like a wide receiver.
So we need to have a conversation with Guidry as
Yes,
to why are you lining him up and having this play go like this? That
I personally, like I said, I think they letting them score, man. I just my opinion. I know y'all ain't gonna never bite on that, but it's just apparent to me when you running a defense that's shutting them down, and all of a sudden you switch out and stay in the defense that you see having problems, and you was shutting it down earlier, playing a little zone, mixing it up. Come on, man, y'all better stop.
I mean, maybe he's that guy at the crap table thinking, "Oh, it's going to hit this time. I'm half broke. It'll hit this time."
He gambled a lot. You're right. Because I can see one time, a couple of times it almost worked. Like that pick Barron almost had when he dropped that coverage.
Yeah,
dropped it, but
again, like I said, the miscues because at near the end though, Duke started playing like Duke. I mean, you had a bunch of miscues by Duke and a lot of miscues that you're not going to see against better competition. All right. Because we're all in agreement that, Miami's going to run the table the next 3 games. Okay. But my concern, QB, been a while, buddy. How you been?
I was pissed at that last interception.
But see, my thing is you get through Georgia Tech, Wake, and Syracuse. Okay, great, fantastic, cool. But what happens if you take on, let's say it's a Pittsburgh, a Clemson? I'm just saying that the competition is going to get better and better and better. And when you get in the playoffs, I mean, as of right now, looking at the top 25 right now we don't know what's going to happen with Penn State or Ohio State, but still, you got Oregon, Georgia, Penn State, Ohio State, Texas, Tennessee, Notre Dame, BYU, Texas A&M, Iowa State, and Clemson. And then you got your Indiana Hoosiers, Heru, and Alabama. So my point is the competition is going to get better. The level of play is going to increase, it's just, and that's where my standpoint is. That's where, my perspective is that, Miami should and will take care of business in the regular season, but you got to take care of these issues that we're seeing right now.
Well, the only issue I see South Coast is, let's say my conspiracy is wrong. I'm just a nut for thinking that. Let's just say everything's real. The only problem we got is our offensive coordinator doesn't seem to know how to keep their foot on the pedal. We up 14-0. We get a drive. They can't stop us running. You want to throw it, and he throwing incompletes. Come on.
Was that him not keeping his foot on the pedal as much as it was Manny's defense clamping down?
Because those were missed throws. Nothing about the defense of Manny did that stopped us. They were all missed throws.
They were getting pressure.
They were dropping the passes. Horton dropped.
They were, but eventually there was some pressure coming Cam Ward's way.
Man, listen, a lot of that pressure he was manufactured.
Credit to the bad blocking of the offensive line.
No.
And again, it's look, as far as offense, and even with even with the offensive line dysfunctionality, I think the offense is okay. I'm like Larry Frank. The offense is fine. Okay. Miami is averaging 40 something points a game. So the offense is producing. We can nitpick that all day we want, but and to the offensive point, I mean, the defense, okay, so we're talking playoffs, we're talking ACC championship and beyond. Miss LNV, what's up? Rob B, good to see you. The defenses are going to get a little bit better. I'm just stating the obvious. And then as far as the defense goes, the offenses are going to start getting better because, in my opinion, defensively, I haven't really seen much. I've seen the same song and dance for the last 5 weeks now, and other coaches know that. I don't know why Guidry must continue to play man coverage.
It's a little different though, South Coast. It's a little different than what's been happening. Okay, let's look over it. Okay, each time we had the second quarter slip up defensively. South Florida, where they were leading, was Virginia Tech. And then that third quarter, this one, same issue. They took their little lead. Mm-hmm. But this time we kind of didn't. We clamped down a lot sooner on our defense. They had 28 at the half.
Right. And that all goes back to my putting themselves in a hole. Why are they being put in a hole? Okay. And what happens if that hole is too deep to get out of?
And I got a question to piggyback off of what South Coast is saying. Why do we wait to clamp down after we're in a hole when we can clamp down from the jump? I get it. The first series or two, you're trying to see what the offense is going to throw at you. So they might get a couple of first downs on you. They might even score on you. But normally, once stuff like that happens, if you're a smart defensive coordinator, you pick up the trends, you see what they're doing, and then you're like, okay, this is what we have to do. We got to switch this up. We got to put this man over here. We got to, change our looks and stuff like that. And then the stuff that's happening after half, it happens a lot sooner, and we don't get in that hole as early.
Right. It's almost like a boxing match. You kind of feeling each other out. But again, I don't understand why this team, as talented as they are, why are they having to, get themselves out of a hole? I don't, again, especially against the teams they have played so far. And there's a big difference between Duke and Oregon or Texas or Georgia, Ohio State. There's differences.
Allegedly.
And this is what y'all got to look at as well. Think about this. Let's say Miami runs the table, right? They run the table. They go 12-0. They can even win the ACC championship. Miami is going to have such a big target on them come playoff time. When we finally match up against one of those big dog teams, they're going to be salivating and chomping at the bit to be the one to knock Miami off.
Yeah.
Hey, it feels good to be in that position again.
It does. I love it. I love every moment of it, but I don't want it to happen.
But y'all a little afraid that we ain't legit and it's going to happen. And you're going to be like,
no. The offense is legit. If the defense is not legit, the defense, Miami, if and when Miami should lose and get eliminated, it will be on the defense. I promise you.
Well, listen, so I'll go crazy. Remember though, remember we had our little series, and we didn't even know. Remember y'all were asking like, damn, who was our D line? We didn't even know the D line other than Bang.
Well, actually, it was the defense. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, all we knew was
it
Bang.
was a big question about the defense.
Yeah.
We knew this. We knew we had. Mario did a good job patching up. Best he could do now. It is what it is. A couple of our two of our D line, Harrison Hunt Robert, they went to SMU. That's on my deaf pieces. And look how good they doing. So that's how this parody is going on in college. You know, people are allowed to share players now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like Mr. Frank is using his blinker, so thank you for that, sir. Oh,
Yeah, my bad. I was making it turn.
No. Hey, look, down here where we're at, I appreciate you using that turn signal, sir. Obviously, you did not get the turn signal option package on your vehicle, so thank you for spending the extra $1 or $2 to get that. Anyway,
Absolutely.
Oh, but I mean, if I hate to just sound so negative, but it's just that, if Guidry knows that his players have a few more weaknesses than strength, then why don't you scheme something to lessen the issues with the weakness? In other words, do some type of scheming that plays to the strengths of the defensive players you have. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I mean, yeah, Miami wins. Cool. They beat Duke. Cool.
We covered the spread too.
They cover the spread. Fantastic. But
Miami in the over.
But I guarantee you, over 90% of the people, either here, there, or yonderwhere. Okay, not underwear, yonder there, or whatever. I guarantee you, at halftime, you are thinking, "Oh no, we're not. This could be it. This could be it."
No, I thought we were done spotting points and selling this Heisman campaign. I guess they don't think they secured it yet.
I wasn't like that at the half. I started getting like that a little bit when they went up 28-17.
Yeah.
Early like that. But at the end of the day, I was a little concerned. But at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, they'll settle down, because you knew, and I put it up on Facebook for those who are in the chat that's in that University of Miami football. I put up a thing in the group on Facebook with a picture that, and it was a picture of DJ Envy with a confused look, and I said, "You do know Manny coach teams usually fall apart."
Yeah,
and it was right on cue. It was right on cue, because it was right when we scored, and then we wound up. That's when your boy got the interception right after we scored in the second half. Frederick. Yeah. And I love OJ Frederick. I love OJ Frederick. That Frederick to me is the this year's version, I think, of what you saw with Cam Kitchens' freshman year. And I think Frederick is going to have a similar maturation at his position like Cam Kitchens had. Now, I hope that Frederick does not do like Cam and take a step back.
Right.
Like Cam did. If Frederick is
Cam ain't take no step back.
Cam took a step back. Don't stop. Come on now, hey Ru. Me and you haven't had an argument in 2 weeks. Now, come on now.
You talking about stat wise as he got hurt and sat out a game or two.
There's been peace in the valley. Come on, hey Ru.
Man, hey Ru. We lost the game against Georgia Tech because Cam let the guy get behind him. If he'd stayed in front of him last year, we don't lose, even though Mario didn't take the knee. Now, hey Ru, don't do that.
Okay, before y'all get wound up, Mr. Greg Watkins. Mr. Greg Watkins asked, "How do you send money to support this channel?" This is going to sound crazy. This is going to sound completely absurd, but all I ask is, come in here, give us your opinion. I'm not here for the money. I know that sounds crazy, because the reason why I don't do the money is because then it becomes a job. And I enjoy doing what I'm doing too much to start taking money. I appreciate it. I tell you what you do, Greg. Greg, here's what you want to do. And I'm not saying it because Larry Frank's on here. But whatever dollar amount, change amount you would want to spend on this channel, you go over there to UTalk and give it to them. Do that. You do that.
But well, I appreciate that, but I'll speak for Devin. I know me and Devin had this conversation, and we're just like you. We're the same way. We don't ask for donations or nothing like that, and I appreciate you sending them our way.
Yeah,
If you want to give one, we appreciate it. But yeah, we like, if you don't know, we do our thing. It's the people show. We do it for the people, and that's why South Coast. That's why we rock with you so much, because you're so much like us, man. It's all about just engaging with the fans and just spending time.
Look, don't let the tan fool you. But we're alike. Don't let the tan fool you. Okay? But no, seriously, Greg, seriously, in all seriousness, you got enough. See, here's my thing. As far as the money goes, I know this is completely off topic, but hey, it's the South Coast Kane post-game show. When did we ever stay on topic? See, here's my thing. I do this because I enjoy running my mouth, in case you didn't know. All right. I enjoy the fellowship. I enjoy the camaraderie, because, there are so many Miami fans here where I'm at. Yes. I mean, I know Larry Frank's got to swat them away like flies, okay, down there where he's at. But where I'm at, I don't really get the fellowship much with honest, true Kane fan, because, so often I hear, I used to like Miami.
Yep.
I hear that all. I used to have me a Miami shirt. But here's the thing.
Damn.
I just enjoy the camaraderie. I enjoy the fellowship. And I feel that if I start, taking money, okay, then I feel like, then I have to be a politician. I have to keep everybody happy so the donations keep flowing in. And there are enough folks out there on the YouTubes that's their mentality. I got to keep the money flowing. I got to keep the money flowing. So how do I make everybody happy? Look, whether you love me, you hate me, okay, I'm going to tell you what I think. I may not be right all the time. May not be wrong all the time. Okay. But I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm sorry. The CEO says she's taking all donations, by the way. Anyway, and again, and now as far as Mr. Frank and Mr. Devin over on Utah, that's on them. They do great work. They have a lot of things that they do. And I would say, look, if you're wanting to give, if you're wanting to give any monetary donation, go support them. They are doing some great. Matter of fact, they're holding that blowout bash next week in Atlanta. Yeah. And I usually, me, I don't really, I'll promote a lot of small channels. I'll promote everybody that I can. I'm the worst case.
Well, I have one request. If he wants to give some money, if I may suggest it, South Coast, send to the guy that wants to give a donation. Send that money to the University of Miami and send a note to Mario to tell Lance Guidry to go get a freaking playbook to learn defense 101.
You know what, Mr. Frank? Maybe I need to swing by down there, pick you up, and we'll go over there to the he's over there in Lake Charles or something like that.
No, that good, but you know.
But
in Welsh, yeah. Go down there around Welsh, like I said. Any Guidry's down there. Yeah. I'd be like, hey man, tell your cousin he need to get right.
Yeah, I mean he's just right down Interstate 10 there.
I-10, yes sir.
But anyway, I just wanted to say that, and I would have said it if Mr. Frank was here or not. But anyway, Mr. Marini, I appreciate that. If I'm the worst Kane, then hey, so be it. I'll wear the
Wait
badge.
A minute, hold up. Marine Ego.
I will wear the badge proudly. Okay. But it is what it is. So what were we talking about before I went on my public service?
Can I start that?
It was me and Heru was about to start arguing over Cam.
Okay,
no, I ain't gonna argue about that. No.
All right,
ding, ding. I give you that argument. But
round 2.
I will want to say to you, LJF, you talk. I'm not gonna let you delegitimize Duke, because I remember you saying They're 11 points from being undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
And they really wasn't supposed to have lost that game. And I heard the announcer say this really supposed to be Miami's first ranked team. It's supposed to have been a marquee matchup. So we're not going to delegitimize Duke. And I never was on the Manning fire him train. I love Manning when he first became our defensive coordinator because he did something that I hadn't seen in Miami in so long, had our linebackers playing like the old. And I was like, boy, Diaz, boy, we got us a defensive coordinator. Can anybody tell me I'm lying? When he first became our D coordinator, we weren't.
No. I'll say this much. I was when they brought him in, when Mark Richt brought him in, and he came, and the turnover chain was cool. And you know what I liked about Manny was he did more with less. Because like me and South Coast, we hinted at it last night. We were talking about that 2017 defense when he was the head coach. But if you go back prior to when he was the head coach, the 2019 defense and all that. But if you go back to the 2017 defense before he became head coach, you had Shaq Quarterman and Jaquan Johnson, Michael Jackson, and Joe Jackson, and Michael Pinckney. Those guys on that 2017 Miami defense, can you honestly say all of those guys would have been starters on any of those other good teams back then? No. They would not have all been starters on Alabama at the time, or Ohio State, or Georgia, or whatever. Right. So he did more with less. And that team, that defense was nasty work. And like we were saying last night, imagine if we had the 2017 type of defense now to go with Cam in that offense. You could go ahead on and shine that trophy up and send it to Gold right now.
Our 2017 team, defense was all right. It underachieved at times, and we had a lot of close games. And our QB play, to me, was the difference in that year, being a pretty like really going over the edge. I could imagine we had Cam back on that 2017 team.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, Cam makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, this is a good victory. Yeah, we lapsed for a quarter and a half on defense. But that first quarter, we looking like slice out defense. It was clamped down. I was like, ooh. And then we went to this little, I don't know what it was about. I'm going to have to go back and look at it.
First quarter, I'll give you the stats right now because I was keeping up with it. The first quarter, we had 4 defensive possessions. We had 2 3-and-outs, an interception, and we gave up the touchdown. So for the most part, the first quarter, the defense, especially on the first 3 possessions, the defense clamped down. Momentum went Duke's way when we got the interception. And let me see, I don't think, was that where we couldn't do nothing with it after we got that interception? The first interception when Meach Powell got the interception.
We had
we were up 14 when we got that, right?
Can't remember exactly.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. We were up 14 when Meach Powell got the interception.
Right.
And if we could have capitalized and went up 21-0, then everything else don't even happen. Yeah, everything else that happened never happens. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'd be kind of skeptical about them in these ratings in the first half of these games I've been watching all over the net, not just us. But I digress.
I'm like South Coast. I just want a complete game on both sides. I just want offensive domination from the start. I want defensive domination. I want to be like some of these other teams and be able to kick my feet up at halftime and we're up 42-3. And we got nothing to worry about. I'm tired of months. Every week I'm losing 7 months off of my life dealing with this team.
but LJF, I haven't seen many games like that. The first 3 weeks, everybody had their little powder puffs. Yeah, you saw that. But over the last about 5, the last 3 or 4 games, ain't nobody had a comfortable win, pretty much. That Georgia, 30-13 over Texas. That was pretty
But Haver, I, with all due respect, I don't care about other teams. I've said this before. I don't care. If just because these other teams are having close games, that Miami should have close games. I'll just say, so if these other teams decide to cancel football, should Miami cancel football? Answer is no.
No.
So again, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from, and I respect you. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but at the end of the day, I don't care what other teams are doing.
Okay, this is my point.
Now I'll watch, like I'll watch some of the ACC games, just kind of see what the other teams kind of looking like, But at the end of the day, I don't care. Let's take care of our own house before we start talking about somebody else's house, because our house is not in order at Miami. Straight up.
And on the heels of that, with the victory that we got, don't it feel much better knowing that we're 9-0 and our business is handled for the day? Now we can kick back the rest of the day and see who wins out of Pitt and SMU, see who wins out of Louisville and Clemson, because now we can, and we can afford to watch and see what else is going on, because our business is done for the day.
But anyway, go ahead, Hayru.
No, I was just going to make the point is, yes, I agree, because that's been my motto. I'm not concerned about any of the other teams. I'm just concerned about us, and we do need to tighten up our defense. But the only point I make is we do have to evaluate the other teams who we might be up against.
Right.
And I say we have a great chance against everybody, even though we still got a lot of fix, and even though our defense could be the one that costs us in the end. I agree. But just to sit here and say, we just predicting us to lose, I don't agree with that.
No. I'm gonna say something that you might agree with, you might disagree with, but I'm starting to wonder, and I'm thinking wholeheartedly that this is the case. If Miami would have had a defense that would have allowed them to just steamroll every single opponent by a decisive margin and not have to scratch and claw and fight to win, especially that 3-game stretch with Virginia Tech, Cal, and Louisville, coming off of the heels of the first 4 games when we dominated everybody. Can you imagine if Miami would have dominated everybody that they played through the day, or at least coming into today? I think Miami could have been the #1 team in the country, or #2 at least. You would have had to put them there, even though they didn't play anybody.
Right.
And they're going to say they didn't play anybody.
Yeah.
But
good point.
You play who's on your schedule, but at the same time, if you're beating the shit out of everybody on your schedule, you got to give it to them until somebody takes it away.
And it also that'll give them a false sense of security too. So I understand what you're saying. Oh Lord, the CEO is all over the Marine E. Oh boy.
What happened?
The CEO says, Marine E, why do you keep coming back? And then she says, seriously spending a lot of time here to be such a hater. Mr. Frank, you know as well as I do. The one thing you don't want to I'll wait till he comes back. But anyway, Mr. Frank did make a good point. It's kind of a double-edged sword. If Miami was to come out and just I'm going solo. Cool. See, here's the thing. Here he is. All right, here you go. So what I was going to say, Mr. Frank, is, first off, you don't want to upset a young lady. And you sure as hell don't want to upset a Louisiana lady.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, you make a fantastic point, though. I mean, and it's not so much just, say if Miami's only given up 3 or 10 points a game, but just to not be in the situations they've been in for the last 4 or 5 weeks, excluding Florida State, where they're, it's close at halftime and they have to claw and scratch their way out. And as much as I do like the, tenacity, of the team, the offense to come back, I have to ask, why are they in such a hole? That's the only problem I have, because the competition's going to get better. And I don't want to keep repeating myself, but that just seems to be the theme of the story, dude.
You have a situation that Go back to last year with Florida State. Florida State, if you remember, they had a lot of games that they skated by.
Right.
Now they go 13-0. They did win the ACC, but think about this. This is where style points is very important. I'm gonna use Florida State last year as an example. 13-0 ACC champions who skated by pretty much everybody because Clemson should have beat them. It was a missed kick that got them. I think, was it Georgia Tech? I think should have beat them. Miami sure had a shot to beat them.
Boston College,
Boston College had them. All those games, Florida State barely won. Florida State barely won, and they didn't have what we got offensively. With Cam Ward and all of the hype with Jordan Travis. So look what happens when Jordan Travis got hurt. They win the ACC, and the ACC, or the playoff committee rather, didn't even consider them and left them out. That's why it's so important to have style points. Not saying that Miami will be denied a spot, because Miami won't. I believe even if Cam Ward, God heaven forbid, gets hurt, and Emory can help finish us and get us to 13-0 with an ACC championship, Miami will not be denied because you have an expanded format. But seeding comes into play. So that's why you've got to be able to dominate and really show the voters and the committee, hey, we're a team that you want to consider for this playoff because, hey, you see what we're doing. Put somebody in front of us and see if they can stop us. But I don't think you have that method of thinking right now because we're just a couple of average Joes that are Miami fans. We feel like, well, me and South Coast, that is. I forgot. Not Bobby Knight over there, Mr. Indiana.
Listen.
Shots fired.
Listen. The media is looking at us as an unstoppable offense that no one can stop. So I like that. Hold on, though. I know our defense is whatever, but we're talking about perception. But, so with that perception, they're not going to leave us out. They're not going to, we get in their favor. Because listen, I'm hearing if Indiana lose to Ohio State, they're going to leave Indiana out, which is wrong.
No, it's not.
I think they got a better schedule than us.
No.
Yes.
Okay. So
if not, then you're saying the ACC is better than the Big Ten because they smashed Nebraska 56-7. Ohio State having close games against Penn State, against Oregon, against Nebraska.
Hold up.
Go ahead, South Coast. I'm going to answer South Coast, but go ahead.
Hold up. Oregon was a top 5 team. Penn State was a top 5 team.
That's my point. See, we're using these preseason rankings to head start teams.
But you're looking at the conference, and I'm talking about Indiana's schedule versus Miami's schedule. Miami opened up the season with Florida. Now, I know Florida turned out to be poop, but they still opened up the season with Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And along the way, you have a team, and look how many teams, and I know they aren't ranked. And I we could play the woulda, shoulda, coulda if my aunt was my uncle and all of this stuff. But let's call it like it is. Virginia Tech was a couple of points away from being undefeated prior to that Miami matchup. Duke was 11 points from undefeated prior to today's Miami matchup. Those are 2 potential teams that could have and should have been ranked on our schedule. Syracuse with Kyle McCord, they could have been ranked. I think they might have been a preseason ranked team, and they fell out after they lost an early game. Georgia Tech, after they beat Florida State, they were ranked, and then they fell out. So I'm not going to take what we got on our schedule, putting it and comparing it directly with Indiana's schedule of who they played, and say, you know what? Indiana has a better schedule than what Miami has because Indiana has not played nobody. And if Indiana indeed loses to Ohio State,
like I said,
I will not be somebody saying they got screwed if they don't get put in the playoffs because they haven't played nobody.
One loss.
It's talking. See, talking about the announcers. Okay, that's one of the problems that a lot of Canes fans today have. They listen to what those announcers are spewing through the airwaves. Matter of fact, the CEO called me because, she's, recuperating in the bed. She was relaxing, enjoying her chips and salsa. And she called me in there.
That's the life. That's the life, man.
I
Tostito.
know. I do what I can for her, dude. I do the best I can for the CEO because, when the queen is happy, there's peace in the valley. But she called me in there and she says, are you listening to this stuff that these announcers are saying? They're saying that Miami has the best defense in the ACC.
They do stat fine.
I said, hold up. I said, you realize? She says, oh, I know what you're going to say. I said, yeah. They're taking the whole body of work. So a lot of these stats are inflated by the first.
Y'all can't use that if y'all gonna say our schedule is ranking. I'm looking at the schedules right in before me. You can't say that. That's contradictory to the schedule talk.
I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it again. Okay, the first 4 games of the season. Yeah. Florida. FAMU, Ball State, South Florida. Okay. But when we got to ACC play, those, luckily we had enough money in the bank to cover our gambling losses that we occurred. Okay. Yep. So, and see, that's the whole thing. Again, that goes back to my theory, the discernment. You have to be discerning, because if you hear that crap on the TV about, oh, this is the best. I mean, you got to realize, and I'm not trying to pull a play out of Hayru's playbook, but you realize that the PR department at Miami probably gave ABC some money to say good stuff about Cam and the Heisman and the defense and make the team look good. So again, not conspiracy theory, but money talks. But anyway, so talking about Indiana. Talking about Indiana. Okay, this is no disrespect to Indiana. I'm just going to tell you what their schedule was. Okay, they beat FIU, they beat Western Illinois, they beat UCLA, they beat Charlotte, Maryland, Northwestern, Nebraska, and Washington. They have yet to play a top 25 team, just like Miami.
Okay, let's look at Oregon's schedule. They play Idaho, Oregon State, UCLA, Michigan State, Purdue, Illinois. Okay, they got Ohio State and Boise State, the only 2 good teams I give you on there. So that's a little bit tougher than Indiana. I agree. Because of the Boise State. And Illinois is a little bit better, but
I mean,
too far.
But if you're comparing Indiana to Miami,
they're out.
If you're comparing Indiana's schedule to Miami's schedule, Miami out of the 2 has played a tougher schedule.
I'd agree.
So I won't disagree, because I've been the one that's saying the ACC is better than this Big Ten, and Ohio State is overrated. Oregon is overrated. Penn State is overrated. I like Pitt, SMU, Clemson, and Miami, and Virginia Tech. Those 5 up against them 5, and I like our chances.
I can agree to that. I won't argue that.
But again, regardless, this is great talk. I mean, we can sit here and debate this all day and bore everybody in the audience. But Greg, they're up 10-3, by the way.
Cool.
But I mean, talk about the Gators over Georgia, 10-3.
Ooh.
Yes. About 5 minutes. 5 minutes left in the second. We need Florida to whoop ass. I hate to say that
with Florida,
but and with talking about what we're talking, to say what we're talking about, we talked about it last night with Mr. Frank, I believe. But if when it comes to the seedings in the playoffs, now I know we're talking the future.
Oh, they finna wreck some shit. I knew
But
they were overrated.
Let's say it comes to the ACC championship game. Okay. And let's hypothetically just play it. We're in the land of what ifs. Okay. if you have Clemson, SMU, and Miami undefeated, you know, well, of course, the ACC wants the best two teams. That's going to get them the money from the playoffs. Okay. The best for the ACC in the playoffs. You know, and, you know, if Miami doesn't start at least stopping some of these, I mean, if Miami gives up over 20, 30 points to a Wake Forest, you know, especially when you got Pitt playing SMU and Clemson playing this. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's you. Oh, hush. Don't. I'm sorry I talk bad about Pitt and Clemson. I'm sorry. Anyway, but what I'm saying is Miami needs to take care of their business. Okay. And doing what they're doing. Yeah, they covered. But you still gave up 31 points to what were they, 6-1 at the time, 7-1 Duke team?
6-2
at home, 6-2 at home. You know, if Miami has to take care of business, they have to take care of their house, get their house in order, and just play, you know, error-free football and just take care of business. You know, that's all. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, you know, we can nitpick the numbers and stuff, but honestly, guys, I can just sit here and say that it's still status quo with the Hurricanes football team. You know, it's the same thing we've seen since Virginia Tech. You know. I
just wish Cam started dumping it off more often. Like, go to the first read more now. A few more. Like,
well,
enough your acrobat.
That and plus stop. I mean, if there's no need, if the line of scrimmage is a 50-yard line, there's no need to scramble back to the 20, throw across the field and get intercepted. There's no need for that. He just needs to get away from it. Okay. It's okay. It's okay if you throw the ball away.
We're leading. We don't need to get the ball back to them right now. I can see
exactly.
if you're behind, you gotta make a play. No.
But again,
they should have been running the ball on that series anyway.
Right. And I mean, I talked about earlier in the season, but I mean, Cam just wants to be successful in his place. He wants the team to be successful. And sometimes he can be his own worst enemy. In other words, he tries too much. He tries to be positive too hard when in fact either you just need to eat it or throw it out of the sidelines. That's all. You know.
Yep. The running back be wide open and flat every time. And he don't never dump it to the running back. I mean, every now and then, after he don't scramble for 5 seconds, then he'd be like, all right, I'll dump it to Martinez.
Right. But, I mean, again,
I wonder if my coaches is going to say something to him at the end of the game. You seen Dawson?
I don't know.
Yeah, Dawson. The guy called him out because Dawson said, why are you changing the play or whatever when I'm telling you to run? Like
exactly.
So you saw right then and there, that's Cam doing that.
Exactly.
Now,
I almost got his shoulder broke.
I'll say this much. I'm not mad at Miami in a game situation like that with an opportunity to score, running up the score. I'm old school. I don't believe in this sportsmanship stuff to where, you know, you intentionally stop running, you stop throwing the ball and you start running little dive plays and stuff like that, the milk clock. No, I'm old school. You, like Jimmy Johnson used to say, don't get mad at me or whatever, stop us. You know, but do it with the backup. Put Emery or Reese or whoever in there and keep running your offense and let your backups get in there and let them get some numbers on the stat sheet.
Now, actually, truth with that being said, Larry Frank, I think they could have put Emery in that last possession. You know, after Cam, who luckily didn't get hurt on that blind sack.
Yes.
You know, Because let's face it, what Lagway's out? Oh well, so much for Florida.
Oh,
Let's face it.
Oh no.
Let's face it, guys. If
That's-
Cam goes down, I hate to say it, but Miami goes down.
No, I don't think so. I don't want that to happen, but I just think I can see a silver lining in it because I think our offense will get the running, stop playing all that old razzle shit, dumping all. We still got unstoppable receivers and tight ends.
Hold on, Ray Charles. Hold on, Ray Charles. You say you can see a silver lining, Ray Charles. I got to stop you with that. If Cam goes down, Emory comes in, the game plan changes. And the game plan changes because Emory is not going to chunk that ball and try to go to all them different receivers like Cam. They're going to revert more to running the ball. And if you're in deficit, 28-17.
We ain't gonna be in deficit because we ain't doing all that old stuff.
Stop that.
Listen, every time we're in that position,
even though Martinez has done better, Martinez is still going back to his instincts of times of dancing and doing this and that before he hits the hole. Now he's been doing better, but he's still, not getting all the yards he should.
We got slower running back, bro. I ain't worried about that. All I'm saying is most of the time we're in our position we're in, it's because of Cam.
Exactly.
So you're telling me if the defense can't stop in the name of the love, if you nickname them the Supremes, that at the end of the day, Emory comes in there with a deficit, and it will be a deficit. I know you don't think it'll be a deficit, but it will absolutely be a deficit. You're telling me that Emory could lead this team from a similar deficit like Cam with a different game plan, because running the ball is going to eat more time off the clock.
I'm saying if we have to start the game with Emory, we might just take the lead and don't look back.
LMV. Well, see, here's the thing. Here's my thing. Okay. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, Greg Watkins says Emory is better than you think. Yeah. No, look, I'm not. This has nothing to do with how good or bad Emory is. It's almost like a paradox in the space-time continuum, dude, because you're going from a Cam Ward, okay, who is, moving around. He can avoid the pressure that the offensive line is letting through. Cam can do what Cam does. Now you put Emory in there. Okay, you've gone from having a dual threat or mobile quarterback to a traditional pocket passer. As good as Emory can throw the ball, he can't move like Cam can. And
which means he can't escape a collapsing pocket.
Exactly. So what's going to happen is Miami will become one-dimensional. They will be old school Big Ten football, run the ball, and the opposing defense will be all over. Now, I'm not saying it wouldn't be successful, but with the way the defense is playing,
it won't.
If the defense was a lot stouter, or however you pronounce that, then yeah. If the defense was holding teams to 10 points, 17 points, okay. But when you're giving up 31 points to a Duke, I mean, at the end of the day, it's Duke, fellas. It's Duke. All they're known for is, the lacrosse team sexually harassing chicks and playing basketball. Yeah. That's Duke.
And not only just Duke, South Coast. If you're giving up 30 points a game without Cam Ward, you're not 9-0.
No.
The only reason you're 9-0 having given up 30, if you give up 30 points a game, you'll be undefeated because you're scoring 47 to 50 points a game.
Listen.
Right.
But if you don't have Cam Ward and you're scoring 30 points a game and you're giving up 30 points a game, now it's like a jousting match to where whoever plays best or whoever has the ball last wins.
Yeah,
and
but
again, now my thing is
in the variable there.
Now again, I think offensively, seriously though, I really believe offense was still produced, but with the defense that Miami has. You see where I'm getting at? I just, as successful as an Emery-led offense would be.
How
Okay.
many turnovers we got, y'all? I bet
I
you
just-
75% of them contributed it to Cam.
I wouldn't doubt it. But what I'm saying is an Emery-led offense right now would be successful. Okay.
And we'll decrease our
But-
turnovers probably by 50%.
But the thing is, you can throw all the interceptions you want to, but if the defense don't stop the opposition's offense, what's the use? Okay, I'm not condoning turnovers, but right now the defense cannot stop anybody. So it doesn't matter if we have Stevie Wonder or Dan Marino under center.
I think part of that is because, like I said, Cam putting the defense back in that position right after they got off the goddamn field. That should make a difference. In your enduring, you might be tired running back, confused. Oh shit, we got to get back on the field, and momentum. All that's against them. You know what I'm saying? You keep doing that, 3 and out, wop, and then you run them back. Then I mean that hurts the defense when they get rest after a long drive. That helps.
Again, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying the offense would not be successful under Emery. No, I'm not saying that. I'm afraid that an Emery-based offense would not be able to overcome what the defense is the hole that the defense is putting the team in.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying,
Okay.
I think you're confusing me. I'm saying an Emery ran offense will complement our defense and give it a little more rest, and we'll be back. Yeah, because we'll have control clock running. We'll have a more clock control offense, giving our defense more rest, less time on the field. And you get what I'm saying?
So you're saying that the Miami's defense ineptness is because they're tired?
No. Listen, y'all know football. Y'all always knew a run and shoot type offense had effects on the defense. That's why anytime you've seen any team in NFL college history, a team with explosive offense, their defense took it.
Okay. Time of possession today. Miami had the ball for 30 minutes and 9 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Duke only had it for 23:38. Miami had the ball for 7 minutes longer than Duke did.
Yeah, that's skewed. Now look at the time when they took that lead. When we was up 14-0 to where Cam went to, we should have been running in, but we went to throwing and put our defense in a little momentum situations, short fields, etc. And they got them quick strikes on it. Yeah, okay, the defense, that don't give them a skew. They should have, but I'm just saying that would help it a little bit. That's all.
I know.
Could have a vacation in Aruba and come back and still get burnt. I've seen games where the Cam had a 5, 6, 7 minute drive. Defense comes right on and gets burnt. So I get what you're saying, and what you're saying, I'm not discrediting what you're saying, because what you're saying is true. Offenses that score fast and the defense gets on the field, they get winded, they get tired. 2019 LSU is a prime example. So yeah, you're right about that. But in this case, that don't apply to Miami because that defense is putrid. I don't give a damn if they
that bad. No, it ain't that bad, bro.
Shit.
See, that's why I'm thinking y'all being a little too hard. I do think it needs some work.
What?
But you saying putrid.
Putrid.
Oh man.
Putrid. And I'm gonna put some accentuation. Not putrid, but putrid.
Dang.
Hey, Ru, you do watch the games, right? I mean, you watch the whole game.
I got you. Y'all ain't backing off.
No. I look. If that's what you think, that's great. But I mean, personally,
I think we're average. More almost close to above average.
I don't understand how you cannot say the defense is not up to par after watching these games. I don't understand that.
What's Putrid? An F minus? You give him an F minus for the whole year?
I'll give him a D plus.
I'll give him a D for trying. Only on the secondary and linebackers.
I give him a D plus. The only reason I put a plus is because of Mish Powell and those interceptions. I think he got his fourth one today, and turnovers they created. But other than that, you're talking about a defense. Miami is 9-0 because of Cam Ward, but they could have been 5-4 because of their defense. And I know what you're going to say, Heru, but they're not 5-4. They're 9, and I know what you're going to say. I know what you're thinking before you think it.
No, I was going to say, half of that is Cam's fault, but I ain't going. But I ain't gonna let him off the hook. Yeah, he playing great.
It's a credit to Cam. It's a credit to Cam.
That's what we're saying.
All I'm saying is, and I hope this don't happen. While y'all blaming our defense and thinking it's going to be our Achilles heel, it can mess around and be Cam that costs us the natty with his goddamn acrobatics.
And guess what?
Okay.
I wouldn't be angry at that in that situation. But before we could talk about natty situations and natty possibilities, we need to talk about ACC championship situations and playoff situations, because this defense is a liability. And I'm sorry. If we see Ohio State, if we see Georgia, if we see any of them big dogs that's in the top 7, top 8 or whatever, when our defense gets on the field, I'm pulling out the
they're going to get handled like Florida right now. That's what's going to happen.
No, Georgia going to hand it off to Etienne, and Etienne's just going to...
Man,
Florida all right, okay. Anthony, what's up, dude? Please.
What's up, Anthony? Hey, look, real quick. Before he goes, I'm about to be out. I got to go to my uncle's house, but I just wanted to shout you guys out. Y'all have a great show, man, and I will check in with y'all and holler at y'all. Y'all be good.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Frank, and I appreciate last night with you. No Diddy.
Absolutely.
Oh, so that was cool. All right, dude, you have a good one, bro. Okay, Mr. Anthony, what you got for us today? What's your perspectives, your thoughts?
We're talking about the defense. I think people are overreacting a little bit. If you look at our overall stats, we're actually ranked in the top 15. Like overall defense, we're ranked like number 15. And our run defense is ranked like number 3 or 4.
Okay, are you looking at the whole body of work, the season totals for the defense?
So far.
And that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I will not disagree with that stat. My concern is if you take away the first 4 games, and, like Janet Jackson says, what have you done for me lately? You have to admit that the defense has kind of been struggling.
Like 50-50.
Hey, Carl Davis, you're right. Comparing ourselves to Ohio State and Georgia, it's a success of a season. The reason why I compare Miami to the likes of Ohio State, Georgia, Texas is if this team is going to be successful in the playoffs and win the whole thing, I hope they do. You have to beat the likes of them. And right now, I just feel like the defense, for whatever reason, be it the coaching, or what? Something's just not clicking with the defense, right?
That's a question, actually. How much can we blame on the coaches, and how much can we blame the players on not executing it?
And again, we
always blame the coaches. Let's look at the players who are not. It seems like the players are not picking it up.
And again, that to me, I'm not gonna ever blame the players, but if somebody on the team, be it offense or defense, if they're not being productive, if they're not helping the team successful, then maybe somebody needs to get in there and take their place.
Do y'all know?
And I put that on the coaches.
You know what else too with the coaches?
What's that?
Sometimes you can call an offensive play that gashes a defensive play. It don't
And
matter.
you're right.
It don't matter. You know how
You
good
can
your
be out
backup
coached.
is. It basically, let's say that you're getting out schemed on this series or whatever. And I've seen a couple of times you were getting out schemed. You know, it's looking like he's getting out schemed during these spurts of these teams getting these little scores. You see how they do the little routes and how they do the little, and they keep calling it man beaters. Man beaters mean you're getting beat, right?
Right.
That means you're drawing up a play to beat your scheme.
And at this point of the season, though, there aren't too many secrets. At this time, unless you really, like with Miami still hasn't opened up the whole playbook. They still only opened up maybe 30% of the playbook.
Yeah.
But
to me, that's a big way of a team being able to shade points and spot points. If you see a team steady, no, for real, across the board, you see a team standing man to man press and won't get out of it and being carved in it, you got to ask yourself the question.
Yeah, and I'm gonna call. Could I call the fans out that are calling Barron out for being tired? Let's not forget Barron was the majority of the beginning of the season up until California that was giving us a pass rush. Most of the pass rush. None of the other defensive linemen were producing any pass rush whatsoever. So I can't stand the fans not attacking him, but like making it out like he's overrated and we shouldn't have got him and stuff like that.
They always switch out on the players.
Yeah, I think the defensive line is doing a fine job. Now, granted, I think the defensive line is doing a fine job.
The linebackers and DBs is the weakness, I think.
I agree. And I've been saying that for a while now, but yeah. And of course, I don't know if it's that. I don't know if the play calling. I think one of the announcers.
Do you think it's a scheme that's not fitting the athletes that we were? Do you think maybe it's a scheme that 4-3-5 scheme is not working for the athletes were?
It could be, Anthony, but again, this was game number 9. We're in November, dude. I don't get it. Things should be a well-oiled machine right now. This is not.
Or I'm not sure if this is coaching or the players, the mentality of the players. Maybe. Do you think some of these teams, the players are not playing up like? They're not at the beginning of the game. They're playing down to the competition, and they start revving up later in the game.
No, I don't believe that because I see that Cal game.
No, I'm talking about the defense. The defense specifically.
The defense. Yeah. Now, like with Cal, Cal played conservative, but like with this Duke game, I don't understand why Guidry is so adamant and enthusiastic about playing man coverage. I don't know why he doesn't.
I think our corners are more only OJ. I can see OJ being the only one until we get like a guy like Jabari Antoine or a DJ Pickett on campus that can play pure man-to-man defense.
Well, and I agree. And to what Kwame says, the flats, the flats and the slants are wide open. I think again, Guidry needs to. I'm no expert, but
we need to move to a zone defense.
You need to move your zone, you need to mix it up. You need to camouflage it. You got to keep the other off. You got to keep the other team guessing on what you're doing.
The coverage scheme that we need to run is similar to what I'm not sure if we had the corners or safeties to do this, but
I think he's young too.
No. I understand the age, but what I'm gonna say is I'm not sure if our guys are equipped to do this. The man match scheme which is zone mixed with man-to-man defense, the scheme that Saban ran at Bama. Do you think that type of coverage scheme would do well with actually accentuate the talents of our players?
It might, but again, I said it earlier, with Guidry,
He's too stubborn.
That's what we were running the first 3 series. You see how Mishpal backed in the safety and picked that ball off.
Right. Now, why he didn't, I don't know. But the thing is, as looking at the whole body of work, I don't understand why Guidry is
40 yards those first 3 drives.
It's like he he does not want to change. And, if you have a secondary, okay, if the defensive secondary, the young men that you have in your secondary can't perform and execute your game plan, then change it up. Instead of hoping their failures and shortcomings doesn't cause an issue, why not work to their strengths? Play some younger guys, get some other guys in there, keep mixing it up, run some nickel, do something.
I understand this has nothing to do with Mario, but maybe this is an honest question. The reason why he's getting guys like a Guidry or a Dawson, maybe the big name guys don't want to be micromanaged and stuff like that. The bigger coordinators in college football on defense or offense.
That very well may be, but
I think the reason why we're getting these guys is because they can be controlled by Mario.
And I wouldn't argue that point, but
I hope I'm not being harsh.
No. And again, we're just looking from the outside in. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know what Cam Ward is changing. We don't know. All I can say is I hope. I just hope. I mean, Mario said he was going to let the coaches coach. He's going to stay out the way. But
I think there's his habits are creeping up that he's not micromanaging. Now he's micromanaging the defense. Now,
God, I hope not, because Mario has no idea about defenses. All he knows is offensive line. No disrespect. I'm not Mario bashing, but Mario was never an offensive coordinator, and he sure as hell was never a defensive coordinator. He was an offensive line specialist.
And I think that's why Kevin Steele left. I don't think he wanted to deal with that micromanagement. He wanted to run his own defense, and I don't think Mario let him.
Well, all I can say, I mean, it's good stuff, Anthony. Good stuff. All I can say is I don't care who is doing what to who. Okay. All I know is the defense has got to tighten up. I don't know if we need to put some new, younger folks in there, some other folks in there. If maybe we need to reevaluate the play calling. I don't know. But whatever is going on right now is not very sustainable.
I disagree with you guys with Ohio State. They have issues with their defense too. So, and Will Howard, the guy that we wanted from Kansas State, he's way too inconsistent and stuff like that. So, I think we have a chance. I disagree with Larry a little bit. I think we can beat Ohio State, but I don't think we can beat Georgia, Texas.
Okay.
Why you don't think that when Florida's about to beat Georgia right now?
It's still the first half, dude.
Man,
so let me ask you this, Anthony. Let me ask you this. So, and I'm not trying to disprove you, but I just, like Ohio State, regardless. Okay. And of course we'll never know, but we can just talk about it. What would Ohio State do with Virginia Tech, Cal, Louisville?
I think Ohio State would struggle with Louisville and Virginia Tech because they have serious issues on their offensive line.
They sure do.
I hope you're right.
Yeah,
but,
because I know this because
they got two of their starting tackles out too.
Yeah, no, and the reason why I know this, I actually live around Ohio State fans, and we talk about football, and they're complaining about the recruiting efforts on the offensive line for Ryan Day and stuff like that, and they say the depth is an issue on the offensive line. If our starters get injured, we have way too many inexperienced guys.
But and that may be okay. I'm not gonna, but and the main reason why I bring up Ohio State is not so much for Ohio, but the second, third ranked team. In other words, when I talk about Miami in the playoffs, I just go through the top 25. Now,
maybe we can beat Oregon too.
Ooh, okay, Anthony. Hang on. Let's. I mean, look. If you think so, hey,
I think honestly, I like Oregon, but they're overrated.
I applaud your faith, but again, and that very well may be. But all I know is from what I've seen with this Miami team against the teams they have played. I mean, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, no.
But you got to.
For me, I mean, we're playing down to our competition. I agree with that, but
exactly.
I think, and we're not supposed to be doing that, but it happens. And to be honest, when we get to these teams like a Georgia, I think our level kicks up a bit with our defense. If we play teams like a Georgia, Texas, Oregon, and what's the other team? Ohio State. I think our play is gonna kick up a notch because
I hope so.
Better competition.
I hope so. I hope so. But Duke was able to get 405 offensive yards against Miami's defense. Duke.
Was that passing? Mostly passing or rushing?
No, sir. Rushing was 80 and passing was 325.
Okay. So it wasn't a balance. It wasn't balanced. It was more skewed to one.
And no disrespect, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I really, it doesn't. I mean, they had 405 yards on Miami's defense. This is Duke.
No, Duke got their program. This ain't the old Duke, too. Y'all know.
I don't care. It still says Duke on the side of their helmet, dude. This is Duke. This is a basketball school. Duke is a basketball school. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
If
like about pretty good, 22. I can't be mad.
I mean, because like Florida State, okay, they were 1 in whatever, okay, 1 in 6, 1 in 7 when we played them. It's still Florida State. It's still Florida State. Even though Miami shouldn't have given up 14 points to them.
It's Florida State.
Maybe the 7, but not the 14. But it's still Florida State. But this is Duke, man.
Man, didn't Larry say they are 11 points from being undefeated?
And yeah, he did. And I'm not going to
ways to win. They listen.
If you
turn it back on anytime, like, man, let's separate.
And for me, I think we
at least let you know, yeah, we got some issues, South Coast, but that should at least let you know our athletes is that much better. Like, even if our coaches do some dumb shit or theories,
our athletes cover up for them.
To be honest, our defense, whatever the reason, it's not being like they're just getting burnt, or you know what I mean. It's a scheme.
And actually, we complain that we're getting.
It be those crossing routes where like I pointed out a play where the two of our men like kind of like bumped into each other, covering the dude. I mean, just look at stuff like that.
And our opponent, actually,
they young.
And back to what I was saying about the stats. I understand stats don't always show the whole story, but our red zone conversion percentage of our opponents is below 15%. Below 15%. So
that's because they're scoring outside of the 20 sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Most of our touchdowns are on their side coming from their side of the field, not the red zone.
Right. And again, like I said earlier, if it wasn't for the miscues of Duke in that
we would
second
have lost
half,
that game, you think?
It would have been a different story. I'm not going to sit here and say Miami would have lost, but it could have been a different story. That's all.
Manny got his revenge. I think
again, Duke. I said Duke is finally playing like Duke. The miscues, the interceptions, the fumbles, the whatever. That happens. Okay, I'm just glad Miami was able to capitalize on it. But you play a better team.
A Clemson
that won't make those mistakes. Malik Murphy he really wasn't on target that well. He was,
he's still, and people forget, he's still a rookie learning on the job.
Right.
He barely played at Texas.
Yeah. He was 25 of 41, just barely over 50% of his pass completions. He had the 3 interceptions, but what happens if you get a quarterback that,
I'm glad we got them 3 interceptions because we
most definitely. Yeah. Oh, look,
15, we can't win the natty. If we can get over 15, we can win the natty.
I mean, I'm glad they got the takeaways. I'm glad Duke had the miscues. I'm glad Miami was able to capitalize on it. But let's be realistic. As the competition escalates after the ACC championship, okay. As the competition escalates, these miscues are probably gonna go
hurt
down.
us.
And you may not have the 3 interceptions against.
Let me ask y'all a question about Jade, the little injury. Obviously, he's gonna be out. Do y'all think that hurts us, or do that force him? Because I want to see some Robert Washington.
Where's Damari Brown, by the way? Is he out for the season?
Yeah, it looked like he.
I think he may be back for Syracuse, but yeah, hey Rue, I think to the unfortunate injury, you may see some younger guys get out there. You're gonna have to. I mean, can they really do any worse than what's going on now?
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, Frederic is doing a fantastic job.
No one's throwing to him.
Exactly. They wait for 19 to come in there.
And I have a question for you, both of you. I have a question for when it comes to the corner position or safety position. If you're not getting targeted or you don't hear them, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I would think that the opposing coaches, the offensive coordinators, our quarterbacks would pick on our weakest link in the secondary. And it could just be a coverage situation. Maybe that, let's see, Duke Higgins had 139 yards on 9 catches. So that was their big target. And of course, Moore, the guy who was hurt, but come back and made that spectacular Sports Center top 10 catch. You can't stop that, but yeah.
No,
Hagan,
and that's where I'm going with this. To me, some of the catches that Hagan makes, I think it's just catches, no matter how good the defense is, you have to tip your hat to the quarterback.
Yeah, right. I mean, that catch that Moore made
out of bounds
because it was yeah, he did have the one out of bounds. That was out of bounds.
But that
one in the second half, was it the second half where he one-handed that catch? Nice. But they were both bad throws. Let's be honest. But it is what it is. Miami did win. They covered. So
winning is winning, no matter how ugly it is. Let's be. I understand we blew out the team, but the way we blew them out was ugly. And I've been saying this. People don't want to hear it. All I care about is winning, and I don't care how ugly it is. You're still winning.
And I can respect that, and I have nothing against that. I am ecstatic that they're 9-0. The only concern I have is, if this team wants to succeed and move forward in the playoffs, okay.
That's why we need to win a conference so we have a bye.
Right. Oh, if the ugly wins get you there, they get you there. But based on what I've seen against Virginia Tech, Cal, Louisville, Florida State, now Duke, I just don't see that defensively being successful
against the bigger teams.
Against a more better. I mean,
like a Kirby Smart. You don't think that would work?
No. Because
Dan Lanning.
Yeah,
Florida holding them to 6 points I have right now, bro. Y'all can't tell.
That's the offense. That's their offense.
Still, though, look what we did to Florida.
Right. But it's only halftime. It's only halftime now.
Gotcha.
Because if you look at, let's look at Miami at half. I mean, Miami was, let's see, what were it was 21-17 at halftime. So let's just see the whole body of work. I mean, granted, we need Florida to beat Georgia to help us out schedule-wise. But, and again, I'm not saying the top 12, the top 10, the whatever. I'm not saying they're infallible and they can't be beat. Okay. Me personally, in my opinion, the way the defense is playing, the way the defense is performing, I just don't see how it can be successful in the playoffs. That's all. Offensively, we'll be fine. Even with the offensive line issues, I think the offense is going to be just fine.
Yeah, and I'm starting to agree. To me, I'm starting to kind of agree a little bit with, I can't believe what I'm saying, Cuban, that I think Alex might need to go. That's this. I know that's flip-flopping there a little bit, where I disagreed with him originally, but now I'm starting to see what he's saying, that some of the mistakes are a consistent thing throughout these last few games, that it doesn't seem like there's improvement and stuff like that. So I'm starting to think that Mirabal might have to go. But Mario's going to have the same – Mario's going to be like Manny with – who was the defensive coordinator that he refused to fire?
For Manny?
Yeah, there was a coach that he kept on the staff for a long time.
D'Onofrio.
Talking about D'Onofrio with Golden?
Oh, yeah, Golden. With Golden. Yeah, D'Onofrio.
Oh, yeah, I've made the comment that Mirabal is Mario's D'Onofrio. I've said that numerous times.
Yeah, no, that's what that's what I feared. This is because they're friends. He doesn't want to not hurt his feelings, but he doesn't want to screw up the friendship.
Well, I mean, that's.
I saw him have all the time in the world, and he want to run out of the pocket just because
happy feet.
But he got a lot of his time off of scrambling and getting out the way because the pocket was collapsing.
I seen a couple of times they were ghosted. He wanted to run. He doing that on purpose.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think Cam is starting to get happy feet? That's why he's running out, because he doesn't trust the offensive line.
Happy feet plays. I'm like, Cam, he ain't have to do that. I'm watching him closely now, because ever since he signed the deal, I want to see how he playing.
Yeah, no, the one play I can see the happy feet is the one where he had a perfect pocket, even though it was getting pushed back. There was still a perfect strong pocket around him, and he pinned.
He had to do all that, Cam. Stop.
The play where he did a pirouette and then ran forward and threw the ball. You know the play I'm talking about, Hiru?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. The pocket was perfectly, or even though it was getting pushed back, it didn't collapse around him where there was people getting to him. The offensive line was holding their blocks. It was just they were getting pushed back. But Cam panicked and stuff like that and did that pirouette out of the pocket and did like a bootleg and threw the ball to X. That's the play I'm talking about, where X made that ridiculous catch in the end zone. Right.
But the offensive line was getting pushed back.
Oh,
that's the whole
but they were holding it. They were holding.
Even though they're rushing outside, and they gotta kind of take an outside block on it, lean on it. So it looked like pressure. That's why you step up in the pocket. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they don't bull.
And do you think it's just this is maybe it's not him not trusting the offensive line. It's just maybe a glitch in his system. Not a glitch. Something in Cam's something in Cam that makes him do that automatically, even though he has a strong pocket and stuff like that. Like,
Well,
do you think that's just his style of play, that even though he has a strong pocket, he has to run out?
Part of that, I think that is he like to run out and make plays on the outside. He don't want to be a basic, stand in the pocket and just dink and dunk.
Yeah, that, and plus the fact this is game 9 with this offensive line. So I'm sure he's familiar with this offensive line by now.
I'm just afraid the coaches are not going to take control of this fiasco of Heisman campaign. I know we were selling tickets, we were doing all the hoopla, but you seen at the end of the game where you're like, man, look, I'm saying run the ball now, goddammit. I understand in the middle of a game, you see something, you want to call a different play, but you're getting out of hand.
And no, I can understand why they're doing this, why Cam is doing this specifically. He has a stat pad because the Heisman voters are going to hold it against him that they perceive the ACC to be a weak conference, and they're going to think he has to outperform the stats of other stronger conference, the quarterbacks in other conferences that are stronger.
So you're saying that Cam is putting himself before the team, even though he said
no. I'm not saying Cam is doing that. No, I'm not saying Cam is doing that. I'm saying it's a byproduct. He's not doing it on purpose, but it's a byproduct of having to outperform the other quarterback. He's not putting himself before the team. It's a byproduct that maybe he in his head, he maybe has to outperform the other quarterbacks in other conferences or other players in stronger conferences to win the Heisman peak. That's what happened with Jaden Daniels.
So you're saying Cam feels that he needs to outperform the other quarterbacks? Is that what, and I'm not trying to, I'm just asking, I'm just trying to get clarification.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not doing it on purpose. He's not putting himself before the team, and he's not doing it on purpose. I think it's just he maybe internally he feels that he might have to outperform other players in other conferences that are stronger to win the Heisman, like Jaden Daniels did, where he had to perform stats-wise. He had to be so extraordinary to justify them giving him the Heisman Trophy and stuff like that.
But Cam said he's not. I'm not picking. I'm just saying. Cam said that he's not worried about personal accolades. He's more worried about the success of the team, and that's where I'm confused.
Yeah, no, he says that. No, he says that to the media and stuff like that. But like how he's performing, maybe during the game, the heat of the moment, he's doing that to put crazy stats up to justify him getting most of the votes to win the Heisman and the Davey O'Brien Award.
So basically, I'm hearing that Cam is looking out for Cam and not the U on that helmet.
Well, let me
and the reason why I say that, because I brought that up a while back, that
I think he cares for the team. He cares for the team.
Let me
stuff like that.
About that. Does the school benefit if a player wins a Heisman Trophy?
Hell yeah, they benefit.
Like money wise, any type
I'm sure they get some kind of money, but it's still, if Miami has a chance to get the Heisman Trophy winner, hell yeah, they're gonna want that, because they can use that to their benefit.
Maybe
for recruiting quarterbacks
in the school. You think the athletic director came to him a few times? Hey, buddy, you think you could do it? Y'all go ahead and do it. Y'all,
I mean, there is prestige and whatever that comes with the Heisman Trophy. In other words, yeah, the athletic department can hang their hat on that hook. Mario can hang his hat on that hook. Mr. I want to have a bowl of rice. Shannon Dawson could hold his hat on his hat on that hook.
Oh,
Yeah, you know, and then plus, you know, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I said it the other day. Cam can take that Heisman Trophy and use that to benefit his draft stock, because let's face it, the only reason why Cam came back to college was to beef up his draft stock. And the only reason why he came to Miami is because Miami gave him the money, and he felt like, you know, he was given the speech that his best chance at draft, moving his up the draft, is with Miami. Okay. Oh. And so far, he's doing a fine job. I just hope, I mean, if he wants to get out there and pad his stats, okay, fine, fantastic, do your thing. All right, but don't get yourself hurt.
When is the Heisman vote?
Do what? The Heisman vote? That's like what, second week of the vote?
The
December
award
somewhere.
ceremony for the Heisman is the week before the final of the college football playoffs.
I thought it was in middle of December.
No, that's the Davey O'Brien Award you're thinking of. The Davey O'Brien is in the middle of December. The Heisman is usually announced. The winner of that trophy is the week before the championship game.
Right before January 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually a route bit.
I was just hoping they'd hurry up and beat.
No, the national championship, I thought the college football playoff is the week before the Super Bowl. Usually.
Well, now it's because of the 12 teams. Stars December 20th, first rounds. Then you got the Christmas break, and then you got another group of rounds like right during the January 1st holidays, like normal.
Okay, so it's not in February like it used to be.
Like the 10th of January, and then the championship is like January 20th or some shit.
Okay, yeah, no, because it used to, when it was a 4-team play. You know, I'm going off by the 4-team playoff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It used to be January 8th or some shit like that. The 14th.
Yeah, it was February. No, it was January 26th. It was the week before the Super Bowl, which was January 5th.
No, it wasn't that late.
All right, so the Heisman ballots are distributed on December 2nd. I'm at Heisman.com. The ballots are distributed on the 2nd of December. The voting deadline is December 9th. The finalists are announced on December 9th. And then December 14th, the Heisman ceremony at 8 o'clock Eastern will be on ESPN. So it'll be December 14th. So
it's during the first round of the playoffs.
Right before.
I think
December 20th.
The playoffs don't start until like the end of December, like the 27th, I think.
No, the 20th. December 20th.
The 20th? Okay.
Yep, it's the first round.
So yeah, the Heisman Trophy will be awarded like a week or so before the playoffs even get started.
Good.
You know. And
see, for me, I kind of wish for the Heisman Trophy, I understand it's a regular season award. To make it worth more, they should have that be an award that's only awarded during the college football playoff.
But is that really fair to somebody who is having an outstanding year but is on a bad team? See, in other words, if you want to include championships, conference championships, and playoff games in the Heisman talk, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, because, you know, really honestly, the Heisman isn't what the Heisman used to be. You know, it's still a good award. It's good, you know, good recognition.
It's more about the pageantry to me now instead of the actual.
But
Anthony, this is why I'm glad it's over before the playoffs. So Cam don't try to do nothing heroic. They'll already be decided, and you can go on and play basic football and not, you know, try to win no high.
Play hero ball.
Yeah, let's just concentrate on winning the game now.
Yeah. No, and South Coast. I understand when you said that Cam is doing this to improve his draft stock, and he necessarily doesn't care about the team, but like I think the pressure of the Heisman, he's not doing it on purpose. I think he actually cares genuinely about the team. It's just the Heisman, as a byproduct of the pressure of the Heisman and the campaign, maybe he's doing this not purposely, but the stat padding, I don't think he's doing it purposely. He cares about the team genuinely, but I think the pressure of the Heisman is forcing him to play hero ball.
But
Like
why is there pressure for the Heisman though?
As we said, we have a lot of invested interest. We just named
Money.
about 5 people
Moolah.
who can hang their hats on it.
You said it before.
They all in his ear. Come on, Cam. You could do it, Cam. Cam. Now he's like, I want to get this from Miami. If I can bring this trophy
and let's not forget his agent and
I'll be one of the ultimate hurricanes.
And Hayward. Let's not forget his agent is whispering in his ear too.
And this don't crack him. I hope this doesn't crack him. But there's a lot of pressure on the young man. Let's be honest. Adidas contract, Bulls contract, $1 million NIL.
Yeah. And for me, I'm pointing that I'm not blaming Cam for any of this. I'm blaming the agent because these agents are snakes. You guys have to agree with me. They're taking advantage of these kids to make money. I don't think they really care about the well-being of these kids. They just care. They see them as a paycheck. And I think the agent is getting in his head and telling him to do all this stat padding and stuff to get his draft stock up. So I think the agent is doing this. Not Cam is not doing this. It's the agent that's making him do it.
I think the school doing it now. I think they're
no. I don't think the school wouldn't do that because
why would they put out this beautiful Heisman campaign promotional video?
No, for me, I think that's the agent convincing the school to do that. The athletic program to do that.
I mean, the schools have always done that. Yeah, they've always.
Schools have always done that, but I think
yeah.
But to me, it's more. I blame this more on the agent than the player or the school. To be honest, because South Coast, do you agree with me? These agents really don't care about these kids. They look at them as a paycheck.
I won't disagree with that. I will agree with it, but let's also remember, why did Cam come back to college and not go to the NFL this year?
Yeah, he using the school too. Hey.
You know, and look, I'm not blaming anybody to better themselves. Okay, I am not. But, you know.
You don't think he actually genuinely cares about the team and the school?
As long as it benefits him.
So you think it's fake genuineness?
No, I think in his mind it's true, genuine team player, team first. I think he thinks that's what it is, but again,
fans perceive it as another thing.
Well, I get no disrespect to Cam. I'm not trying to throw Cam under the bus, but again, I keep going back to, why did Cam come back to college this year? That's all, you know. And again, hey, look, if Cam brings Miami the championship, okay, cool, appreciate you. But we've had this talk before, and I really don't want to get too far into it because we've been on for almost 2 hours now. But, you know, if Miami wins the ACC championship, they go undefeated, go 12-0. They win the ACC. And Cam, let's say Cam wins the Heisman. Is the playoff or the national championship going to bolster his draft stock anymore? Because he'll end up going to Carolina. Is it Carolina that's sucking win in the NFL right now?
Yeah, a couple of teams. And then
the Giants.
Anthony, that's where his agent says, "Hey man, you already secured first round, so you might as well sit out and you don't play in the playoff."
Oh, that's what scares me. We might, if the agent tells him sit out, your position is secured. That's what scares me. But I don't think Cam would be the type of guy to let his teammates hang like that. But
I don't think so either, bro.
Yeah,
I hope not. But at the end of the day, when Cam come to Miami, he got $975,000. Okay. He got that Bose contract. He got that Adidas contract.
He got that Mercedes money.
The Mercedes money. So if his agent says, look, you've secured your first round, you're going to be first round pick. Whether you play another down or not, I've been told by so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so at the NFL, they're going to take you first round.
First pick overall.
First pick, second pick, first round.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you want to be earlier than most.
Yeah.
You know, because what's up, Miami Flow? Again, it's all about the money. And again, this is no disrespect to Cam, but why did he come back to college football? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I hope he comes back. He stays with it, win the championship. Appreciate the money, folks. I'm out of here.
No, that's what I was going to ask. I agree. That's what I was going to ask next before we jump off. Like,
I just
realistically,
don't know.
how much money, contract-wise, when he gets drafted, how much money really does it make, difference-wise, does it make if he plays a playoff game and wins it instead of just getting the Heisman and winning the conference championship, which already...
I don't know. I can't speak to that.
Can I speculate on that a little bit, though?
Sure.
Think about it. He's going to be the first round pick anyway. Quarterback's not really that big of a risk of getting injured where you're not going to be able to play. So
Tua.
I mean, Tua's a whole nother case. And that didn't happen until he got in the NFL. You know what I'm saying?
He was injured at Alabama.
Yeah, he had the hip injury.
And he still got drafted first round.
Right.
So that's not going to stop your draft. What I'm saying is this about the money, what you asked. You got a Bose contract. You got an Adidas contract. And each playoff game you play, you're going to be able to represent commercials. You probably get paid per clip. They want to advertise that, especially if you win it throughout these playoffs. Not to mention, he has his own social media that can get a lot of hits and likes and money from each playoff game he's in. So he's and then last minute, I seen a clip that he said he came back. He didn't care about the accolade. He came back to win a national championship, playing a national championship. I saw that clip.
But the national championship is an accolade
for the team.
You know, I can only take the young man.
Team accolade.
I can only take him at face value.
The ultimate accolade.
I can appreciate what he's doing. I can appreciate what he's doing for Miami. Okay?
No, all I'm saying is if he sit out, I'm going to point that picture out. I thought you came here to play for a national championship, bro.
Right. And I hope so. Look, I hope so.
Oh, before I go, I have a question for you, South Coast, actually. I have to jump off to go do something. But when it comes to, we talk about how social media affects how these kids perform. Do you think if social media was around with a guy like Deion, would Deion have acted any different?
Oh, would he?
No, like personality-wise, would Deion be a lot?
He'd have been bigger. He'd have had more exposure. See, that's the whole thing with the social media, though. It gives you more exposure to more people in more places. You know, back in the day with Deion, you know, the only exposure you saw about Deion is if he was on ABC's, you know, game. If he was on TV, you know, and, you know, there wasn't, you know, back then, of course,
I'm talking about the adverse effects of social media where idiot fans can criticize.
Well, that's just that's the age we live in right now. And it's not just isolated to sports and stuff. It's anything and everything to where everybody has access to everything that's going on everywhere.
But do you think Deion would have cared? Like, is Deion the type of guy that would have cared about the criticism?
About the criticism?
From fans, if he didn't perform?
I I would say he would see it. Now, if he says he doesn't care, okay. But, deep down inside, if somebody says something critical of you, you're going to naturally say, okay. But yeah, it would have, oh yeah.
You think it would have made guys like Dion and Lawrence Taylor a lot bigger than they are?
Oh, look at that.
I
Defense
don't
on
know.
Florida.
I don't know. I don't know because, it's just a whole different day and age. It's almost like.
No, I'm saying if they were high school kids now.
If they were high school kids now, oh yeah, it'd have been different. I'm not saying it'd make them better or worse, but it'd be different just because.
Dion has a personality already, so does LT. I think social media will actually help them get more exposure, like you said. Because
they give them more exposure, but would it have? You're asking if it would have changed
personality?
Nah, they probably made it bigger.
Good job, y'all.
Just scored again.
No, they just picked it off though, and about to score. They up 13-6 right now.
It that's kind of a crazy question because that's almost like saying, you're looking at stuff, what, 30 years ago, 40
years ago
versus now. I mean, it's just a whole different society.
Now,
if Dion was in high school and had social media, if Dion was in high school today, it would just blow. It would blow up.
The reason why I asked that, me and a few friends were talking about the impacts of social media on sports, and my friend who's a hardcore Yankees fan brought up a guy like he brought up if a guy like Babe Ruth was around with social media, not only the exposure, his legend was already crazy because of the crazy stuff he would do, like on the field. It would be tenfold with social media. He's like he would outshine guys like Bryce Harper and stuff like that, or Shohei Ohtani and stuff like that. Like, and I see what he's saying.
Hold up. Let's look. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but when it comes to Babe Ruth, the only thing Babe Ruth was good, I think he was a good player. When he started out, he was a hell of a pitcher. Okay, they moved him to right field because he could hit the ball over the fence. Okay, it wasn't like, that's all Babe Ruth's claim to fame was hitting home runs. Okay, he wasn't a Ted Williams. Okay, he wasn't a
Lou Gehrig
or anybody. Yeah, he hit the ball over the fence. He scored the runs, and like I said,
you think he's overrated? You're a baseball fan. Are you saying Babe Ruth is overrated by a little bit?
Again, it depends on the metrics of how you're comparing people to. If you compare him as a total baseball player, well, no, because
he's a two-way athlete.
Yeah, he was a good pitcher, okay, but they moved him to right field so he could play more and bat more because he could hit the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, and he struck out a hell of a lot of times. Okay.
People forget about that because of the home runs.
Yeah, I mean, and then you compare a Ted Williams who hit over 400 lifetime, okay, and then you can even get into the fact that
Barry Bonds.
You can look at the segregation of baseball, professional baseball, and I could be here all night.
I don't want to start this tangent. Sorry,
but no, I'm just saying when it comes to the baseball, I mean, you got people that are in the
Negro leagues.
Yes, that were far better.
Josh Gibson is a perfect example.
But anyway, let's get back on topic here. No. I mean, if you want to, the social media is going to make mountains out of molehills. It's going to make, princes out of paupers.
Yeah, and I'm going to use a modern era example. Johnny Manziel, to me, was not really social media got him bigger than he actually was, and he wasn't really a great quarterback. Look at what happened to him in the NFL.
That was the PR machine.
Yeah.
What's up, Adrian? Glad you're here. My condolences for the funeral. Katie, what's up? Alpaca lips. Oh, but yeah, I mean, it's the hype machine, but with the school. I mean, but also the media coverage.
Yeah.
You know, the announcers.
Johnny
you know,
Football.
And again, you know, like on the, let's say the SEC games, well, the SEC is going to want the announcers to hype up the SEC players, you know, just like today with the announcers, you know, Jesse Palmer.
I would honestly, for me, when it comes to media, I wish they had truly unbiased college football announcers that didn't care about conferences. But
no, because if you notice about these announcers on the ESPNs and ABCs and whoever's winning the game and dominating the game, that's who they're going to talk good about until the other team starts doing something. They'll start talking about that team. But it's all a game.
But you understand when it comes to, I thought media, in terms of sports in general, I thought media was their media was supposed to be unbiased, where they don't have a favorite team.
Well, I hate
or
to
a favorite conference.
I hate to disappoint you, but again, that's just the world we live in, dude. That's just the way it is.
Was it like that when you started watching football? South Coast, was the media this biased?
Yeah. Yeah, they like the SEC. They like the Big Eight.
Wait,
they hated. They hated.
My mistake. I'm not sure how exactly old you guys are. I thought, are you guys around my age, like 30?
Oh God, no! I'm like 55, bro.
Okay.
See, I'm going way back, bro. I mean, yeah, ABC. They hated Miami. Everybody hated Miami. You know, but back in the day, it was always, you know, Notre Dame.
Ohio State, Michigan,
Ohio State, the Alabamas, the Oklahomas,
USC,
the Nebraskas, the USCs, rah, student body love,
UCLA.
student body right. Yes, it was all them old schools, bro, all of them, and they hated Miami. So yeah,
and I've always said this: there's a double standard and hypocrisy with college football. They complained when Miami used to blow out teams, but when you go back at the history of teams like Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, any of these blue bloods, they did the same exact thing. You couldn't stand it was Miami doing it.
Right.
Have a good day, guys.
But again, you know, it is what it is, and at the end of the day, Miami is not going to get cut any slack. And that's why I talk about with the schedule that Miami was given and the teams that are on that schedule, you know, Miami has to come out and they have to
dominate,
take care. Well, not so much dominate, but take care of business. You know, cover the point spread, but don't cover it with a, you know, 52 to 30 something game. Oh, he's gone. Okay. I mean, that's all. It's just, you know, hey, just take care of business. But anyway, look. Whoo, boy. Me too, Greg. It's been over 2 hours. It's been a long day so far because, you know, with that early game. But anyway, so yeah, so Miami pulls it out. They do defeat the Duke Blue Devils 53-31. And as a personal side note, don't be mesmerized by that score, because if you watch the game, if it wasn't for Duke's miscues and Miami capitalized on them, could have been a different story. Not saying a loss, but a different story. But hey, Miami won. They lived to play another day. So hopefully, oh my God, next week is Georgia Tech. Oh my gosh. Georgia Tech. I'm going to try to be optimistic next week in the pregame show. I don't even know what time the game comes on, but it's Georgia Tech. And those who know that Georgia Tech has been a thorn in Miami's side for a while. So, anyway, yeah, I'm getting out of here. I appreciate everybody coming in. Larry Frank, of course, Mr. Hayru, Cuban, Anthony, Lakers, and of course, all the fine folks in the chat. Oh, I know a couple of y'all are a little late to the party. I understand, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. But thank y'all so much. I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't know when the game is Saturday. We'll find out and we'll get together. But until then, thank y'all so much.
Yo.
Peace, love, and soul. Go Canes. And we're going to catch y'all next time. Bye.